Well, I think we can get started. I am so glad you guys are here. Like, you can't believe it. This is one of my most favorite things to do. And welcome. Welcome to the GLAAM Flash webinar on our brand new eCourse. And I am Ellen. I am the Director of Awareness at HabitAware, joined by my friend and my partner, Anila, who's co-founder. Thank goodness she got caught with her secret. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here. And I came to HabitAware as a customer a little over 7 years ago. And GLAAM has been in the making for about 7 years. And when I really think about it, it's really probably 40, which I'll tell you about in just a second. And we've seen the same themes come up over and over and over again. And we've also worked with thousands of professionals, and there's a reason why they recommend HabitAware. But let's start at the beginning. So Ellen, and I hid my trichotillomania for over 40 years. Anyone out there remember the first time they engaged in their BFRB? And if you did, just, send an emoji in the chat. Because I remember mine. I was around, I don't know, 10, and we were picking teams for gym class, and I knew I was going to be picked last, and I was touching my hair, probably to calm down. We'll get into that in a minute. And I pulled one out. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. I got this zingy feeling. And then my mother took me to the hairdresser. I don't know, maybe could be 4 days. It could have been 2 weeks later. And the hairdresser went like this and went like this. And she spied 2 bald spots behind my ears. She calls my mother over. Sandy, there's something wrong with Ellen. And that's all I heard is something's wrong with me. And they're staring at me. What did you do? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? And I said, my friend put gum in my hair and I had to pull it out. And that's when I realized, oh boy, I can't do this anymore. What I'm doing is wrong. And so I said, I'm never going to do it ever again, to myself, which lasted, anyone else do that? Which lasted me 10 minutes until I got to the car, because you can't just stop, which we'll get into in a minute. So for 40 years, I wasted so much time pulling my hair and the constant damage control. I mean, there was this time, and now I'm in my 30s, and we were getting a new carpet in our bedroom. So excited till I realized, holy cow, they have to move the bed. So when no one was home, I crawled underneath the bed to clean up. I don't even know how many years of hair. I mean, talk about shame. Ugh. And then there's this lost money, right? Like, oh, I'm chasing these cures. Maybe if I do acupuncture, that'll do it. And then, the FOMO, the fear of missing out on social events, going on a boat. What if everyone goes swimming? And I can't go swimming. What if someone sees me hair or bald spots? Then the fear of intimacy. What if someone gets close? I mean, gosh. So let's do a quick primer on BFRBs. Right? What are they? BFRB 101. By the way, I didn't learn what trichotillomania was until I walked into abnormal psychology class in the
Well,
80s. It wasn't
that's
even a
like
diagnosis yet.
it's actually a great question for the chat is we just talked about the first time maybe you pulled or you picked or you bit your nails. When was when at what age did you find out it was a thing? Would be wonderful to just answer in the chat.
Yeah, yeah. So I was 19. I walked into abnormal psychology class, and they were on the board was the word trichotillomania. And that's the moment I learned. But then what? And they didn't know what they know now. And we still don't know enough. But what we do know is body-focused repetitive behaviors, BFRBs. These are the common ones: hair pulling, trichotillomania, skin picking, dermatillomania, nail biting, onychophagia. Did you know there's a name for that? I didn't know that until I started working here. BFRBs are a reflection of your nervous system. Like, they really do help us when our nerves are heightened. They help calm us down. And when we're feeling sluggish, they help stimulate us. They help us with concentration. It helps us with feelings of high stress, transitioning from one activity to another. What about boredom? Waiting in line, downtime, watching TV and reading. What about you? Feel free in the chat to give a thumbs up or share what you're feeling. BFRBs serve a purpose. They really, 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 really do, but they just don't serve us well. They don't. I mean, we get consumed by these feelings of shame. Why do I do this? And guilt. I'm wasting so much time doing this. And worry, what's wrong with me? Remember? Ellen, what's wrong with you? What did you do? And then it's like this wham, right? Literally in the face. We get whammed and consumed by these feelings. And then the constant living in fear. I remember when I was in college, and we're out on the lawn of the dormitory outside, and my friend Brian, who's 6 feet tall, and I'm like 5'3" on a good day, and he's looking down at me. And he says, Ellen, you know, if you were going bald, I'd know before you do because I can see the top of your head. I'm like, oh my God. So I go in, you know, look, and sure enough, there's a bald spot forming at the top of my head. So am I going to get caught? Am I going to be judged? Am I going to get cast out? And then the worst is, will I ever be loved? We get that wham. And then remember what's wrong with Ellen? I'm trapped in this wrong identity. I'm a freak. I pull my hair. I'm wrong. I must be a freak. And boy, am I gross because I like to bite it into little pieces and discard it. And I'm a failure because I can't control this. And if I'm a failure, nobody can love me. And then I'm got this wrong identity that I'm a hair puller, a skin picker, and a nail biter. And I get whammed. We all get whammed, don't we? Put a thumbs down for that one. Ugh. But here, this is the most important. There is hope and there is healing. And I'm going to say it again. There is hope and there is healing. And I learned so much by supporting thousands of people just like you and me. And even some of you, I noticed some of your names. And that's how GLAAM was created. The wham of your BFRB ends with GLAAM. After taking this eCourse, and we'll give you a sneak peek in just a second. After taking this eCourse, you will be filled with feelings of pride and self-confidence and wonderment and joy. And you will learn to live with resilience and love. Resilience is key. And you'll unlock your true identity. You are not a nail biter. You're not a hair puller. You're not a skin picker. You're an awesome human being. And we have things. We might have a condition, but with GLAAM, you will learn how to manage it and walk out fearless and free from your BFRB. You know, BFRBs are not what you think. These conditions affect us on the surface, our hair, our skin, our nails, and we get preoccupied with the surface. It's the physical. We see it on ourselves and we see it when we look at other people. But our BFRB is much more than on the outside. It's really on the inside. Actually, I think starts on the inside. It's a mental health condition and it improves with doing the internal work. And that is what is so special about GLAAM. It unleashes your inner power. And don't we want GLAAM instead of wham? So during the course, you'll learn to embody a mindset and take actions that cultivate appreciation and contentment. That means you're going to learn to integrate new skills and mindsets that serve you and protect you. It's like your guiding light. I like to think of it as a lighthouse. And you'll reframe your relationship with your BFRB. You probably don't know this, but you do have a relationship with your BFRB, but it doesn't serve you. It can be our best friend and our worst enemy. And with GLAAM, you will learn, hey, I can concentrate without engaging in my BFRB, and I can navigate these high stress situations, and I can be bored without engaging in your BFRB and being resilient and noticing and pivoting. And your approach to your wins and challenges will be with optimism and perseverance. And this is how I like to reference it. Okay, so here's a glass, and you can tell me are you a half glass? Half glass. Are you a half empty kind of person or half full kind of person? If you want to put that in the chat. And in GLAAM, I'm just happy I have a glass. And that's what we're going to learn. You'll also change your inner voice from doubt and disdain to renewal and resistance and resilience, not resistance, resilience. Because words matter. What we say to ourselves matter. Words can help and they can hurt. And with GLAAM, you will learn to quiet that nasty inner voice. I liken it to a really bad roommate that has no filter. And you'll harness your harmony to navigate the pitfalls and traps and stay on track, especially when things get hard. And they do get hard. And I don't think of it as being in balance, because if you're in balance, it means then you might get out of balance. And we're going to be in harmony. It's really building a foundation, a house. So we've got people from all over the world. So some of your houses are in Ireland, in Virginia, in Minneapolis, in, let's see if I can go back and look, in Atlanta, Ireland, Minneapolis, New York, Kansas City, all different kinds of weather. But your house, your foundation can handle that weather, be it a hurricane or an avalanche, be it really, really hot or really, really cold. When your window, if it has a little crack, guess what? You'll be able to patch that up. No problem. Your foundation will not crumble with GLAAM. And I don't know if you noticed, but GLAAM has an exclamation point at the end, and that's because we want to keep you motivated. So GLAAM, you'll trade shame for shine, and you'll take control of your hands and your mind, and you'll experience BFRB freedom. You will. And here comes my dog, who keeps all of the secrets, but he likes to be in the room with me. Who else has a dog or an animal or a cat or whatever? Awesome. Type in their names in the chat. Mine's Rusty. He's all white. He has rust on the tips of his ears. All right. So you guys want to see GLAAM in real life? I'm going to give you a sneak peek into the course. So give me a second here. Here we are. Let me just move these guys here and these guys here. So here's GLAAM. It's an eCourse that you take at your own speed. And there's several chapters, and there's different lessons in each chapter, and we have fun activities to integrate these skills. You start with understanding what BFRBs are and what they aren't, because you can't change what you don't understand. We're going to go through your relationship with your BFRB and why it matters and how to understand maybe what's holding you back, as well as your why. Why do you want to take control? We're going to have some fun metaphors. You'll get to learn, what does a staircase and a flat tire have to do with BFRBs? BFRBs are not a bad habit, but there is a habitual component, and we're going to get into habits. This is the chapter which has several lessons in it on understanding self-compassion and love and GLAAM. This is the foundational work for your house along with this. Then we get into the fun stuff and the hard stuff, but we'll be in harmony. And we're going to retrain your brain. We're going to use the clues. We're going to create your own personal management plan, because even though we're very similar, we are different. And we're always here to support you. So you'll get to learn a little bit more about what is life like after HabitAware. And just to poke into one of the lessons, just to give you. So you could see it's really easy, very, very digestible. And a lot of fun imagery and fun activities. So this is a sneak peek into GLAAM. So the best part, how do you get started? How do you get GLAAM? Well, GLAAM is $199 retail price, but not for you. you showed up today, so you get a discount. Now, the discount is $129, but again, not for you. You showed up today for yourself, and we're going to give you a very special discount, which is $109 off the sale price, which is $20 savings. All you got to do is use the discount code I want GLAAM exclamation point. So run, don't walk, and go to habitaware.com/GLAAM, and you can get the course today. But I bet you guys have some questions, and we do have a little bit of time. We have 8 minutes, and I'd love to answer any questions, reactions, thoughts that you guys have.
So we have one, well, the first question from Allison is, what's the access time to the course?
Oh, a great question. The access time, meaning when can you access it? And the answer is whenever you want to. But I would say if you sign up for it, seize the moment.
Yeah,
Do it
so
right
the
away.
course is yours. It's accessible through a private area of our online community where we help people. It's called the BFRB Change Collective. But the course, when you purchase the course, it is yours for as long as you need it, as long as you want it. I think hopefully, Allison, we're answering that question in terms of the access time. So you have it, it's self-guided, it's yours to read, practice, absorb, and go back to as often as you want. The online collective is where we do some of this work live together. So Ellen hosts weekly challenges. We both host live growth groups, kind of support group meetings, but we call them growth groups because we are really helping you talk through, work through challenges in your daily life and in your mental mindset. So access time is for as long as you need it. Hopefully that answers your question. Mary asks, what does GLAAM stand for? And that is, Ellen, if you want to take that one.
Oh, well, we will unveil that acronym when you sign up for the course. Or
GLAAM is,
what do you
we're not revealing what the GLAAM exclamation point stands for, but I can assure you that these are the mindset shifts that we have seen help people in our online community change their lifestyle, change their mental thinking, change their view of themselves, and help them reduce their hair pulling, their skin picking, their nail biting.
Yeah.
So we are excited to share it with you. And
Yeah.
hopefully that kind of answers your question, Mary. Damien asks about Keen Light. I don't like wearing two watches, Keen and Apple Watch. What features does the Keen Light app have? So Keen Light is our new Apple Watch app. So what that provides is awareness training, just like the Keen 2 bracelet. The way it works is Keen 2 enables you to have always on gesture detection. So you put that on, it's constantly looking for the motion you've selected or you've trained, and it will constantly help you build awareness throughout the full day that you're wearing the bracelet. I'm not wearing mine today, and I will answer why when I get to Christy's question. Keen Light is more set up as training sessions. So just like if you're going to the gym, you if you want to learn how to lift 50 pounds, you're not walking around all day long lifting 50 pounds. You go to the gym for an hour, 30 minutes, and you do your exercises. So think of Keen Light as light in that sense of you set the training session up to, it goes for an hour, and it will alert you. It will look for the gesture that you select within that hour and help you build your awareness in these 1 hour training sessions. So that is Keen Light. You can go to the Apple App Store and take a look at that.
And I do want to mention that do you need, because that was also another question, do you need a Keen 2 bracelet for the course? And the answer is it's not required, but it's recommended to have one of our devices, either Keen Light, Keen 2, or the original Keen bracelet, because awareness is a big part of the GLAAM approach. As well as the love, strength, and awareness approach. Our approach to to managing your BFRB begins with awareness, because you can't change what you don't know. And the bracelet is a way that helps you with that. Plus, as Anila said, the course talks about mindset. And I know that the bracelet can also help change mindset. For example, instead of having the bracelet be a slap in the face, some people will say to me, "Can't it shock me?" We don't do that. Who wants to be shocked? Nobody. I mean, we want to be loved. That's how we make change that sticks. This is a behavior change course that's sticky, that sticks. And when you choose that the vibration is a hug on your wrist or whatever brings you joy, that will springboard you into the other components.
Yep. Yeah. So the bracelet's optional. The Apple Watch app is optional, but it is really, these are behaviors that are so involuntary, so subconscious, that to really get control of them, you want to be aware of what your hands are doing. I want to be mindful of time, so I'm going to jump to Katie's question, which is, could you talk a bit more about what creating your own personal management plan entails and what that might look like as part of this course? Great question. So really understanding, as you go through the course, you'll better understand what a BFRB, body focused repetitive behavior, is and what it's trying to do for you. Like Ellen said, it serves a purpose. It doesn't serve you well. So that management plan is helping you figure out, what is that purpose it's trying to serve me and how can I serve myself better? So that's, in a nutshell, what going through GLAAM and the Love, Strength, and Awareness eCourse as well would help you create your personal plan based on what you need. I am going to keep going because we have 3 minutes left. Sue Coffin asks, is this appropriate for a teenager? And I would say GLAAM and Love, Strength, and Awareness are both great for kids and teens. I would highly recommend supportive parents join them in that process of watching it together, discussing it together, reading it together. Again, in that loving, supportive way, so that you are able to also, as a parent myself and reading all the parenting books, it seems like parenting is, we have to learn it. We have to learn how to be a good parent versus our kid has to learn how to be a good child in that sense. Maybe the word good's not the best, but in that sense, if we can learn how to support them, it'll be easier for them to do what they need to do. So highly recommend it together. And then Christy asks, Ellen and Neela, being where you are now, what does your BFRB look like now? And so, yep, I don't wear my bracelets anymore. I know when I am playing with my eyebrows. I still pull. I'll pull 2 hairs from my eyelashes and I'll say, oh, and I'll go do what I need to do instead. So that to me is the cure. That to me is, as Ellen likes to say, I'm going to steal your line. I am 100% shame-free now. I don't care anymore that there's a little patch, missing here. I know it's growing back and I'm going to do what I need to do so that my hands are not noisy anymore. I have my lifestyle changes, which is what GLAAM is going to help you identify for yourself. And I am 100% shame-free and maybe 95% pull-free, and that is where I want to be. That gives me a little bit of room, a little bit of grace to pull those 2 and show myself the love that I deserve and do right by myself.
Yeah, I just want to echo on that is this is a condition. It's like ADHD or dyslexia or any other, you could say, a learning disability or a medical condition like diabetes. If somebody has a chronic condition, it doesn't just disappear. It's not strep throat, it just disappears. However, it can be, I like to say, 100% managed, right? Where you're able to, instead of having a big heavy backpack of bricks that's constantly consuming you and is dragging with you everywhere, now it's a little teeny tiny change purse that's there. And it might poke its head a little bit, but you have the foundation now to, like Anila said, oh, I know what I'm doing. Resilience is the key.
And life is going to keep throwing challenges at you.
Yeah.
So it's really important that you build the system, that management plan, that lifestyle changes, so that when something whoosh comes at you, this might still be the instinct that your brain goes for, but you're able to course correct faster. We are at time, but we just have a few more, so let's just keep rolling. Joanne
Yeah,
says,
please.
thank you so much for being on Henry Ford Innovation Nation. Yes, about 2 weeks ago on CBS Innovation Nation, our HabitAware smart bracelet Keen 2 was featured, and we are very grateful for them coming to us and saying, we'd like to feature you. That was filmed nearly a year ago and just came out. So we're super excited that that came out during Mental Health Awareness Month, and very grateful that folks like you can find us through avenues like that. So please let them know that you are thankful. Go to their Instagram and say thank you, because that they need to know stuff like that so they can help other companies that are doing good work like we are to get the reach that they need to actually help the communities they need to and want to. Sophie asks, is the Keen 2 sensitive enough to detect gestures such as finger rubbing? I think I'm aware when I'm raising my hand to my mouth now, but I've learned that the BFRB starts before then. It starts when I feel irregularities in my skin and nails around the finger, but I'm concerned that the bracelet won't detect it. Your concerns are 100% valid. Because it's a bracelet, it is looking for that wrist-based motion. So if it's something more in the fingers like this, it will not detect that. That being said, if you do still have the hand moving to the mouth, you could use the bracelet for that to, again, increase your response time to the behavior happening. And maybe by doing that, you will start building awareness of, oh, I'm rubbing my finger. So something
Yeah.
to think about. But like we've said before, the bracelet is very valuable when it's for these specific behaviors that are risk-based. And in a situation like this, you could potentially try it, 90-day money-back guarantee, see if it works for you, or just, go with the 2 courses that we have and try to leverage the mindset shifts, and do some of the other work on your own, or work with us through virtual peer coaching as well.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Joanne asks, does this also assist with dealing with skin picking BFRB rituals that go along with your BFRB? 100%. So the GLAAM and the Love, Strength, and Awareness, both of these courses are not tailored specifically to hair pulling or skin picking or nail biting or cheek biting or nose picking or, pubic hairs. It's not specific to the behavior. It's not specific to the physical behavior. It's specific to these behaviors as a whole. What are body focused repetitive behaviors trying to do for you? And let's try to understand that and try to teach our brain, let's do this instead. Let's do something healthier instead. So the courses themselves may reference hair pulling or skin picking more so, but it's mostly because body focused repetitive behavior is a very long word or a long concept. So just understand that whatever your behavior is, you can insert it in there. Yes, they have their different tweaks to them, but on the whole, these courses apply to all of them. SK asks, is the Apple Watch as effective as the bracelet? So this is a great question. We have not actually really tested efficacy on the Apple Watch app. What we've done is bring people what we've built on Keen 2 to the Apple Watch in the way that we could do so on the Apple Watch's framework. So again, Keen 2 gives you 24/7 gesture detection and awareness. Because we own that system, we can build it, we own those sensors, we can set it up in that way. Apple Watch limits how often we can ping those sensors, if you will. So we've set it up in these 1-hour trainings, and we're starting to see a good uptick in people using it, and from there we'll try to start getting some background anonymized data as we get a little closer in broadening people's reach to that. Oh boy, you guys got so many questions. I love it.
And the other thing, let me mention too, on the Keen Light, and it goes along with BFRBs in general, there's a spectrum. Some people need more reminders. Other people might need less. So the Keen light bracelet might be good enough for one person, but not good enough for another. I know for me, I needed every day, all day. So it depends on the person. But yeah, let's keep going with the questions, Daniela.
Yep. Will you take the next one, which is how do I reduce the number of false positives when typing?
That is a great question. In the app, you can narrow your zone range, and that should take care of that. If it doesn't, you can schedule a training call with us, and we'll help you personally get it set up properly. And I can throw the training calendar into the chat. And while I do that, Anila, do you want to take the next one?
The next one is I myself have trick and probably some dermatillomania, had nail biting as a child. I've noticed my 3-year-old started to pick at boo-boos when she was 2. Can this course help me help her? I do have the Keen too, though probably should wear it more. So, yep, put it on.
Put it
It
on, wear it from the
will
minute
help.
you wake up to the minute you
And
go to bed.
in terms of will this help my child, kind of as I was alluding to before, anything that helps you heal is going to help your child. And so you can, as you start reading through the GLAAM course, and start practicing and embodying what we're talking about in this methodology, you can then teach it to your child, and they might actually even see it in you in how you shift, how your mindset shifts, and how you interact with the world. But absolutely, you could even read some of that with them, or try to, if they're younger, try to bring it to them in a way that a younger mind might be able to entertain it. But absolutely, anything that's going to help you is going to help your child, because it's going to help you. And I see this as my own, as a parent, right? Saying this as a parent, that the books that I read, the work that I do, the days that I go play tennis are, I'm a better parent, right? I've released stuff out, and so I can be more focused and mindful and present with them. And Sophie's question is, and hopefully, Mary, that answers your question. Sophie's question is, I'm looking at the HabitAware bundles. Is GLAAM included in the bundle? So not yet. GLAAM is being sold currently separately. Our Love, Strength, and Awareness course is included with the replacement training bundle, and our mindset training bundle includes 1 Keen 2, 3 coaching calls with a peer. That's either myself, Ellen, or our colleague Barbara. And it also includes the Love, Strength, and Awareness course. So those right now are the bundles we offer. We will maybe look at adding GLAAM anyway as well at some point. Lots of thank yous, Ellen. So thank you, thank you,
Yes, thank you, everybody.
very
And
much.
you showed up for you, and that's the first step. This is all about you, and we're here to support you. And I know we went over time. Thank you for your generous
Yeah,
time.
appreciate you staying, and hopefully, sorry for rushing through some of those questions, but you know how to reach us. Just hit reply to any of our emails. You will get one of us, and we will help you out with your bracelet or any other questions you may have. And we hope to see you changing and moving away from wham to glam and really taking control of these conditions. As we've seen so many people in our online community, the light bulbs are going off for folks. We're seeing healthy, positive change, and we want to bring that to you too. Wishing you love, strength, and awareness. Thank you again. And lots of thank yous to everyone.
Thank you. Thanks,
All the
everybody.
best.